and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd down, Haskins. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And it's a fumble, and the Redskins scoop it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Haskins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Vecchio now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Haskins to throw. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. This is Geis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Haskins will throw. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 16. First down, Falcons. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And some room to work. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing here, Trubisky. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 20-yard line.
First down, Falcons.
They'll run on first down. It's Freeman. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Haskins to throw it. Grady Jarrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Haskins, 3rd and long from his end zone. Slings this deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Trubisky to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All day, dog.
Here's Haskins. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it'll be 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Final play of the half. It's Haskins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And that'll kick. Over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground, as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
The 20 is complete to Jones. Touchdown, Falcons! Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. So now Trubisky will lead his guys to the line. They'll go for 2 here. Looking to throw again, Trubisky to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20. But over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 11 now, Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time, as they're on him quickly once more. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here we go. The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Geis. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rip left, rip left. Hatchet, hatchet.
On 2nd down, Love. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That's done. Keep playing
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
Let's get it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Looking to throw, Haskins. Slings this deep from McClellan. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 19. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Let's go, defense. Let's get right.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Stop your whining.
Trubisky will throw. Looking end zone for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, Trubisky. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now it's Haskins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Grady Jarrett. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Right there, 56. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy.
On first down, Freeman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage.
And he loses the football a second time, and the Redskins scoop it. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And this is going to be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Going right side here, and that's complete. Past the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Smith. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for them.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2. Now Haskins. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Vecchio to add the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Vecchio. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Atlanta, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will